Episode 104 of the Wilderness Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Support the show at patreon.com/The Wilderness Podcast. Our supporter of the week is Alex Livingstone. We're also brought to you by Audible. Get a free month and a free audiobook at audibletrial/wild. Welcome to episode 104 of the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host, Dills, and with me, as always, is Deegan.
Hey, how's it going?
This week, we have a change to the interface, or I should say, an addition to the banking interface.
It changed the interface as well, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a new button, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Some quality of life got added to some of the bags, and something to do with potions. Things that we have talked about in the past, they're finally here. But we also got a proposal for a rework to Zeah, the Hosidius House. It's an odd one, I guess. I didn't see anybody asking for this, but whatever, we'll dive into it. And as far as community things go, we got an update on the whole Jagex catastrophe, the JMod scandal.
The victims?
The victims, yeah, we got some more information on that, but it's a bit juicy. And it looks like the Oldschool wiki is leaving the Wiki family.
The Wikia.
The Wikia family. But more info on that later. We also have an event and a tournament that we're going to be dropping later on in this episode. One of them I teased about last week. This week we have more information as well as a word of the creator of said event. So you can hear from him shortly. But before we get into all of that, Deegan, the Hema Master, wielder of swords.
Yep. Broke my hand. Lesson 1.
You haven't gone yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
Starts on the 11th. So it's like a week and a bit? Today? No.
I gotta go.
Next, not this upcoming Thursday, but next Thursday.
Exciting. In the meantime, what have you been doing?
So work's awful. Paraphrasing that. Anyways, that no one cares about that. What did I do in RuneScape? Not that much, actually. 85 agility. So it's one of the benchmarks.
Damn, that's pretty good. You can start doing RD rooftops, right?
Yeah, well, you have the summer pie boost for it.
It's not bad. I heard it's, if you're looking for AFK, that is the absolute best way of doing it, which probably isn't even that good because it's agility, right?
Some of the courses are like 8 seconds. Like some of the obstacles, sorry.
Oh, okay, so you have 8-second downtime. All right, so you can guess watch Netflix a little bit easier, but someone gave me a tip on boosting because they're like, you could boost to go do that course. And I'm just thinking, how many summer pies will I need to bring? Like, that's going to get expensive. But the way they explained it made it seem not so bad. You can deck yourself in the best prayer gear, which is like wearing the mitre, which is like a helmet or a hat, right? For prayer. The stole, which is a necklace.
Fowler shield, get that free recharge.
Yeah, the Fowler shield. There's a bunch of items, and they don't weigh a lot either. And with the prayer preserve, it was double the time boosts last. So you can actually get a fair bit of agility done with one boost, right? Even if it's only giving you the exact level you need to do arty. It's not too bad, and your prayer won't drain too much because of your prayer gear.
Yeah, and that specific prayer like drains pretty slowly.
Yeah, it's probably on par with rapid heal.
So the drain rate with no prayer bonus is 3 points per minute.
Okay, so that's not even too bad.
Got 99 prayer, humble brags. That'll last me a little while. I honestly just did it for the arty elites. So the only thing I need now is 1 mining level. I need 91 rune crafting. I'm currently rune crafting as my next goal is to get 91. I'm doing blood rune just because AFK, get some mining experience. You know,
it's not the worst money either.
Yeah, it's not bad. What I'm doing as well is I'm flipping. So I'm making about like 1 mil a day flipping and doing my battle staves. And then so like when I jump on, I check my flips, do my battle staves, go back to blood runes. Make a mil a day. It's kind of nice. Free money while I'm rune crafting. Why not?
Free money's always nice.
Yep. So I'm at like 84. Honestly, I think I'm going to just be rune crafting for like months. That's just how I don't like, you know, like the experience I get is just like super shit.
Are you AFKing too much?
No.
It's like, it's not good experience to begin with, right?
It's awful experience. Oh, like, in comparison to, like, mining, I might have said 450k. I don't know. I feel like I've said that before. I mean, not mining, sorry, smithing with gold, but it's 350k. I don't know why I always accidentally say 450k.
350 is still a lot.
That's really fast. Like, so in comparison, but I guess overall, for the amount of work I put in and get out of rune crafting, it's still decent amount. Like, I get like what, like maybe 40k an hour on average.
It's something. And by the time you're done, you're going to have a big stack of blood runes.
Yeah, but like 260k to get like to 84 to 85. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a pain, but
AFK.
Yeah. And I'm not like, I have like more free time this week, which is nice. So I'll get some good gains in. So that'll be nice. And then it's like I'm kind of getting close to my goals. I think I need to start banking for 91 farming at this point. So I might just start doing herb runs again. What kind of stopped me though is because I'm on my laptop and I don't have my farming tags.
Oh.
Like I had that shit. I had it so organized for like efficient herb runs, and then I could go in, type in herb, pull out all my shit, boom.
It's
type
so
in tree.
easy. My problem is though I keep forgetting about the other patches I could do, like the disease-free ones. I need to incorporate those into my run. On top of that, need to do the new quest still. Haven't got around to doing that yet.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting it exists.
We're letting down the viewers.
Yeah. I have like a lot of random goals, I guess, that I kind of want like, so I feel like at this point with me being like, I'm like 92k experience away from 99 magic. And if I guess what my overall plan is to get the rune crafting requirement, that's all I need for Cram, just the only task left. Get that, one of the things that you get the Brimhaven Agility Course tickets, you get double the rates. Which, if you're turning in the tickets for experience, it's like really good. So I might do that, but I want to just do that for the recolor of Graceful, just because it's my favorite color. And then I kind of want to just like do Hunter until I get the Herbivore pet.
It is a cool looking pet.
Yeah.
So it's good money too.
Yeah. I feel like at this point I'm just slowly chipping away at maxing, and I feel like if I were to get like agility and rune crafting done, or like close, you know what I mean? Like almost there, like 91, 92, might actually motivate me to just finish off those skills and then start maxing. Because after that, it's just like mining is kind of a pain.
Yeah.
But like the rest of them are like pretty easy.
I don't even think mining's too bad. I probably put it on par with rune crafting at blood runes.
True.
I use motherlode mining for what it's worth. I've explained in the past, but once you unlock that upper area and the bigger hopper, it's not too bad. It's pretty AFK. It's really easy to run to that hopper and run back to mining.
You see, I like the blast mine. Get like 70 plus K an hour, and you get to kill a bot every time you jump into a world.
And it's good money.
Yeah, it's good money, good experience. Anyways, I don't have much else to say. What'd you do this week?
Nothing really out of the ordinary. I've still on fletching, currently 96, slowly chipping away. I just jump on. Sometimes I don't. I might be too tired to do anything, so I just start fletching and I'll watch something on Netflix or whatever it is. So we're slowly getting there. Did some Vorkath, trying to get rid of that stupid Slayer task I've had this whole month. I have like 60 kills to go, so we're getting there.
Yeah, I find every time, because I have a Hellhound task, every time I sit down and do Cerberus, I just start to lag, and I'm like, and I just like immediately leave and go do something else.
It depends on my mood, but sometimes it's not too bad. I can rip through, 20 kills or so, but depends on my mood. But also what's kind of motivating me is I'm finally getting super close to unlocking Rigor. I still don't have that, which kind of surprises me. It's been so long. I just buy other things, and I'm like, I really need to save the 80 mil or so to buy Rigor.
See, I think I bought mine for like 60 something.
It's jumped up, I think, because of Theater of Blood and just more demand for it, right?
Yeah.
It's used in everything.
I got super lucky with buying my Hunter crossbow, buying my Warhammer and Rigor, and then like Hunter crossbow like more than doubled in price. You know what I mean? Like I bought everything like just in time. Even I guess like debatably my Pegasians, like dude, I bought those for like 23 mil back in the day.
Ooh, they are going up a little bit. Like I bought mine at 32 mil, and they've gone. I think they're at 36 now. Let me check. 36 mil, so they're going up a bit. What I'll probably do is sell those boots and buy rigor, because I'm sure that prayer will help me a lot more than the Bagasian boots in terms of like DPS and whatnot. But yeah, I'm getting pretty close, probably like 10 mil away now. So I could sell some things for it, but whatever. And yeah, just the odd rating here and there. Yeah, it's fun. Good money too. Can be good money at least. That's basically it. Well, got a master clue. I need to get, I think it's 89 crafting I need. I'm at what, 75? Sorry, 80 I'm at. So that's going to be a bit expensive. That might be my next money grind after I get my rigor. I can get that master clue done. Get 400k loot. Move on to the next one. Anyways, let's move on to the news.
Alright, so I guess first up with what, like quality of life, I guess?
Yeah, basically quality of life.
Yeah.
It boils down to.
Improved decanting, which is pretty nice. So if you don't know, you can decant your potions, which like means, turn your doses, combine your doses like instantly.
Yeah, originally you could just combine them into 4 potions. And it was good for when, sometimes you'll only take 1 sip from something, but you want to take a 4 dose if you're off to go do Slayer, or depending on the boss, or maybe raiding. But some bosses, like Vorkath, I'll do a maximum of 2 sips when I'm doing a Vorkath run before I bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need the 4 dose. So eventually you end up with a bunch of 1 dose potions and 2 dose. So you can combine them all to make a 4 dose potion, so you're not sitting there yourself manually clicking.
I mean, I guess if you didn't know, but there is Bob Barter and Zahar, and I think only one of them is in the GE. I don't know where the other one is. Narda?
Yeah, Narda. I didn't even know this guy decanted your potions for the longest time. Mm-hmm. I knew Narda did. You had to unlock that through a diary, which I was surprised. That's why I was surprised this guy at the GE did it for free. It's weird. I don't really know why the guy at Narda does it if this guy also does it.
So at the GE, this Bob dude, he's like the herblore guy at the GE itself. Yeah, you just use you can talk to him and decant your potions like that. It's super nice. Zahar. Yeah, so Zahar will clean unnoted grimy herbs for 200 GP per herb. So it's super nice. They also do decanting potions, which is pretty dope. But when you do the Desert Hard Diary, or if you have the Herblore Cape, Zahar will make unfinished potions for you for 200 coins per potion. So you can take noted clean herbs and noted vials of water, and then she'll just give you an unfinished potion for 200 coins per. Super nice for Iron Men. Really, really nice. I never
understood why they wouldn't clean herbs that were noted. You have to do those unnoted. It always seemed weird to me that you could do the noted unfinished potions, but you can't do the noted herbs.
It'll probably be like an update that comes along later on, but
probably a way to like prevent people from doing that and making profit from selling the cleaned herbs.
Well, the thing is, you're spending 200 coins per herb.
That's why I'm trying to think why you couldn't do noted. I don't know. There's a reason, I'm sure.
But yeah, more I guess. Super nice. You can also buy empty vials of like just empty vials from this Bob guy at the GE, and he'll sell them to you at the current GE price plus 2 coins. So kind of expensive in terms of like percentage wise, like vials or what. Like,
well, most people are going to be buying them from the Grand Exchange, so they think this is meant for Iron Man and to prevent people from buying them and just selling them on the GE, because people want to buy, let's say, 10k at a time.
Yeah, well, you're buying vials from this guy at double the price, but you can like just go buy vial packs and shit. Anyways, I guess it's just a little convenient. Oh, you want a couple vials for, I don't know, something, whatever. Anyways, pretty nice. They do make like a side note saying, like to make this little like quality of life decanting thing, it was about 40 hours spread across 2 weeks.
Wow.
And there's a lot of math involved. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's programming. There better be math involved,
That seems a weird statement to put in here. There was a lot of maths involved.
I think it's like common for the player base to like ask for an update and then be like, cool. And then they're like, dude, this shit was so hard.
But it's almost like...
Really? Because 1 + 1 is 2. I want a 2.
That's what it kind of comes off as. This update was so hard to do. I had to do math. What about calculator? We're not allowed to use calculators at Jagex.
They actually do make a point saying at some points they had to resort to pen and paper just to map out the calculations.
AKA their phone died.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe like all their like hardware gets shut down and gets audited by the feds because of Mod Jed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Scoundrel. Even from jail.
Yeah. What if we actually found out what really happened was Mod Jed clicked for like a YouTube video, it was like, get free V-Bucks. And he was like, yeah.
At work, so we got his Jagex account fished.
Yeah. And then he got ratted, and then boom.
While he was trying to steal other people's accounts, someone was watching him do it.
Anyways, we'll probably talk about the update. So in my opinion, one of the worst quality of life updates to ever come. But they added the withdraw X function that was for mobile. They ported that onto the desktop version. So next to the rearranging mode, where you can swap and insert and how to withdraw your items, you'll see a quantity of 1, 5, 10, X, and all. And that will allow you, I guess, to easily withdraw items with a left click in your bank. I complained about it like maybe an episode or two ago why I don't think it's good. Don't want to really have to rehash that.
It is good. You just don't think it's the easy scape argument, right? That's what your opinion is.
Well, it's the definition of easy scape.
I love it. I've been fletching because of this update. I fletched at school. I'm supposed to be learning. Here I am getting mad experience and still paying attention. No misclicks. Loved it.
Yeah, it's the way she goes. Easy scape. Yeah, so the right-click options extend to the deposit box, so all items of right-click use within the bank, such as empty for various bags, and they have these uses within deposit boxes, so I guess it wasn't consistent between banking and deposit boxes, so the changes were applied to room pouches, coal bag, gem bag, flamtar bag, herb sack, seed box, the enchanted gem, eternal gem, slayer ring, eternal slayer ring. And additionally, you may now right-click and fill your rune essence pouches without closing the bank interface, provided you have essence in your inventory. Equally, you may empty pouches this way if they contain essence.
Nice.
I don't know if shift-click actually works in this. Probably not. If so, that is OP as fuck.
I don't know about the banking interface.
But yeah, I know in general it works, but...
Yeah.
Because like I really don't like using like AHK or mouse keys when I play this game.
You shouldn't have to.
For someone like me, I prefer to like hit escape, hold shift, quickly click, 4 times, fill up my inventory, and then open up the bank again. Takes like 2 seconds. You can like fill it's like you can do it in 1 tick. You can close, fill, and then open it up in a tick, like pretty much, or maybe like 2. I don't know, I guess if you have like mouse keys set up to like that specific distance, maybe it's like way better. Who knows? Or like an AHK script. But yeah, I guess weirdly enough, this caused some controversy on the subreddit. Weird, it got voted in, but whatever. I can complain because I vote no to this stuff. So I'm actually allowed to bitch. But 87% of you aren't. So the account management tab that was found on mobile has been added to the desktop client, and this allows easy access to useful account information such as how many days of membership, the store, a bond pouch, your inbox, a name change, a link like you can click open the website, and customer support, which is non-existent. Nice
dead
meme.
button.
Yeah.
Brings you to the double EXP Twitch streams.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no double experience in RuneScape. Do not click on those Twitch streams.
Shit. I might have done that. No, I'm kidding. So I think the controversy is that with this new button being put in, they replaced the ignore list. Not controversy. Let me rephrase that. The whining of people were like that you just see going on, and I guess the loud minority is they moved the ignore button to the friends list. It's in the top right next to the world, and where the ignore sad face is like a new weird looking guy with a gear.
Yeah, like the settings gear you see in
commonly
in the computer world and phone worlds.
People didn't like it, but it's like, well, it's in the game.
I can get the criticisms. I feel like there's a better spot for it. You could put it in the settings tab. it would make more sense. Maybe get rid of the bond button in the settings tab and replace it with this. I think the picture they use is a bit odd. It just I don't know how to explain it. The guy just looks a bit off. Like he looks like he's cross-eyed a bit and looks a bit like a duck. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really like fit. You know what I mean? Like the icon itself just doesn't like fit. Like it looks weird.
Yeah, so I can kind of get the criticisms for it.
Yeah.
Even in the tab. So if you go into this tab, maybe you're playing right now, jump into the tab and look at the buttons. Whenever I see the open store, it shows, what is that supposed to be? Like a stand?
It looks like a clam.
It looks like a burger. I keep seeing a hamburger when I open it up.
Yeah, or like a barbecue with a little canopy on it.
What is
little
that
parachute.
supposed to be? It's supposed to be like a stand, right?
See, I thought
It looks like a stall, something you would thieve from.
I thought it was a chest that's open, at least from far away.
I always see a burger, and now I forever will. Hopefully, now that you see it, you'll see. Oh, that it looks like a hamburger. Now I can't unsee it. Hopefully, that happens.
It just looks weird. You can tell like a different artist made it. Like all the new icons that go in this tab. It's weird.
You know what? Now that you mention it, it does look like it has more of that mobile gaming
Aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, like not the buttons itself or the way it's laid out, just the pictures. It looks like something you'd see in a mobile game.
Like Habbo Hotel.
Habbo Hotel, yeah.
If you guys ever ripped that. Oddly enough, side note, if you have a Habbo Hotel account, go log in. Someone's probably hacked it and tried selling all your furniture.
Ooh.
I logged in as a goof with my buddy, and someone hacked his account and sold all his furniture and had his credits transferred because you can sell. There's like an auction house in the game.
There's an auction house now?
Yeah.
No way.
And I logged in and I noticed because I went hard when I was a kid and I was like collecting crazy shit and I found all my valuables missing. Opened it up, some dude just like put high sells on all of them. None of them sold and I just like changed. I don't know why I'm like making sure he can't hack my account. Delisted everything. But yeah, go.
Deegan, what's Habbo Hotel? I've never heard of that game.
It was a game that 8-year-olds pretend to be 14-year-olds and 14-year-olds pretend to be 18-year-olds. Or 40-year-olds pretend to be all the other ages.
Probably. I think it's a little bit lesser than that, because I remember I played it when I was 11 or 12, and people would, how old are you? 13. Ooh.
Yeah.
You're so old and mature.
Yeah. It's like a social game where you collect furniture and make cool little rooms and stuff. You can have a little house. Little apartment suite, do some role playing.
Yeah, it was kind of like a role playing game. Imagine RuneScape, but take out all combat and all the skills. Take the whole RPG, the traditional RPG.
Yeah, strip down RuneScape so it's just like base code.
Yeah.
And it's in a website.
And instead of you're on Gillinor, you're confined to a hotel and you could visit other people's apartments.
And when you swear instead of asterisk, it's Baba.
They would always say Baba.
Yeah.
So you would go into the hotel and you would talk with people and you would go to other people's apartments and participate in fun activities like the dating game where people would have chairs set up on each side, boys and girls spread apart, and you had to choose each other. Oh, what a rush when you're 11 years old and that pixeled girl comes and chooses you.
She got huge babas.
Ooh, it was exciting.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, you know what? You also have a part-time job in the mafia. So you would go join the mafia, and your job was I don't know what your job was. I joined a mafia.
Roleplay.
You would roleplay it, basically. But there was mafia wars.
Yeah.
Don't remember what that consists of. But
shoots you.
Anyways,
I have golden armor.
The end game was always cybersex.
Actually, funny enough, so I was in the 3rd grade, so I was 8, and I had a girlfriend on Habbo, because, young Deegan.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were both 14. Turns out we were both 8. I'm not even kidding. I had her added on MSN afterwards, and then eventually when Facebook became a thing, and I linked all that stuff, she was like, it automatically like sent requests to a bunch of people on your MSN account. Messenger, I don't know if you remember that, but she accepted it, and she went to a school that was like really close nearby. We were the same age. I'm like, oh, because I remember like looking up like all my friends, like, who is this chick? And I messaged her. She's like, we used to play Habbo together. I don't know if I've ever said this story before. I don't know, like hopefully not on the podcast. A little not safe for work, but so I was 8, and I had this girlfriend, and she was like,
this is gonna be a weird story.
it's gonna get a little weird in like 5, 4, 3, 2. She was super into wanting to have cyber sex like all the time. She was a little nympho. It's weird to say, but like we started dating in the game, and she was always like, "Yo, let's go back to your place in cyber," and like through like the cell phone messaging thing.
Yeah, text messaging.
And the thing is, I was 8, so I didn't know what cyber sex was. Like I kind of understood that sex like was like, you know, you'd have kids, but I didn't understand
it's the thing adults do.
Yeah, I didn't know what the process was. So eventually, after like a week of her asking me fucking every time I played that game, I was like, all right, fine, let's go cyber sex. But I had no idea what to do. So I just kept I just kept playing with her boobs. I do like asterisk plays with boobs, asterisk. And like that's all I did. I had no game back then.
Wow.
Still dated her though. I think she was into it. I think she had no idea what was going on too.
I mean,
weird.
Possibly if you're both 8 years old.
I hope.
Bizarre as shit.
Yeah.
Before we go back to the RuneScape, I've told this story before, but this was the weirdest fucking thing to ever happen. I met some female in a hotel, and we went back to their apartment, got a little frisky. I was like 12 or 13. Anyway, she was a year younger. But after we started talking, turns out we went to the same public school. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, where do you live? Oh, we live in Ontario. Oh, I live in Ontario. No way. Whereabouts? Oh, this area. Holy shit, did you go to this school? Yeah, how did you know? Because I go to this. Actually, I had left the school like a year prior, but I was like, I went to this school. No, do you know this teacher? Oh my god, I do. Holy crap, this is weird. And
blocked.
Blocked, basically.
Yeah. Actually, I still talk to this guy to this day, but I met him a long time ago, around 2003 era, through Habbo Hotel, and I like still talk to him, and like we play RuneScape and shit together still.
Crazy.
Yeah, like I still talk. It's super weird. But anyways, I don't know why we started talking about that.
The pictures look like a game from Habbo Hotel.
Right.
When's Habbo Mobile coming out? Anyways.
Yeah.
Moving on. What else we got?
Thermonuclear Devil redesign. So they made him look a little different, little nifty. The Smoke Devils had like a graphic rework, and the pet has been changed to match the transform and given a transform option, and allowing you to switch between the boss and the regular Smoke Devil models. Me and Jagex had a little bit of a compromise here. I'm happy about that. 'Cause, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like it. Bucket packs. Pretty much only useful for Iron Man, but you're able to buy empty noted buckets from the general stores and farming shops. So, dope.
Good for them.
Yeah. And I believe you can store noted buckets to farming the leprechauns, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so you can get 1,000 or whatever, dump them in there, boom, compost for days.
It might be 255 unless they change the buckets too.
1,000,000. Lots. You can just add lots to your thing if you're an Iron Man. I've never had an issue with buckets, mainly because I buy my compost. I'm not a caveman. I don't make my own because they're disgusting. So I have a surplus of buckets. Same with vials, but I don't know. I guess might as well help with those Iron Men. But yeah, mobile changes. So the space between options has been increased because we all know Escape's got those chubby fingers.
Hell yeah.
That those Cheeto dust, the build up gets a little bit too much sometimes. So there's added space between various menus and interfaces. Things like the world switcher, the music interface, the quest list, choice options that appear in the chat box, and options from player-owned houses and certain jewelry.
Cool.
But yeah, so I don't even know how to start this off, but
there is a contest.
So if you want to those who complete the survey, I guess they have a survey that you can find on their website.
In this devblog.
I don't know if we're going to, are you going to provide a link in the?
Yeah, we'll put a link in Discord.
Yeah, or can you do it in like the episode shown? Like I don't know, never mind.
I don't know how useful it is.
But yeah, so they have a survey that you can fill out, and you'll be entered into a prize to win one of $50 Amazon vouchers, or your stated country's equivalent currency. On top of this, 5 lucky participants will also receive a huge 60 by 40 centimeters, that's 23.5 inch by 15.75 inch print of the map of Gilnor. To select and contact prize winners, and validate you as an old school RuneScape player. We'll be asking you for your in-game display name as it appears in chat. Please note, we can only award prizes to surveys that are completed, aka 2 years are going to go by and you're going to be like posting on Reddit being like, where's my shit? Because people from King of the Skill still haven't gotten their stuff yet.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. But anyways, it's pretty cool. The map looks really nice.
It does look sick. It has that old school look. Like, not old school RuneScape look, but it's something you expect from Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? It's real. It literally looks like a Lord of the Rings designed map.
Yeah. The font,
the
aesthetic.
way it looks.
Yeah.
It's got like this brownish, it looks like a scroll that's been withered away. It looks fucking really good.
Mm-hmm.
I want it. How many bonds can I turn in for these?
I mean, honestly, you can probably take this image, do some Photoshop, bring it to a print shop, and just get them printed out for you and save yourself time. But anyways, other changes. So they've taken out the World 107, the UK Deadman world. That's gone. And PC users now have the account management interface that currently appears on mobile. More interaction with the Morurek furnace.
Cool.
I never know how to say that, but...
No one does until Jagex says it themselves.
Yeah, so that was improved. They updated some random hints and stuff like that. Added missing travel icons, mini quest info, typos, all that good stuff. You can no longer stand on the dog in the Fossil Island camp. That's pretty huge. Yeah, EHP community is outraged by that.
They are boycotting this game.
Yep. You can sell your coal and gem bag back to Percy for 80% of their original cost. So that's pretty big.
It's good if you bought it just for a clue scroll or maybe the diaries.
Yep. You max smithing, and you're like, I'm never going to Blast Furnace again. I'd rather not do it. Mobile patches, though. The expand and minimize capability has been added to the Karen favor overlay. Players will no longer tap through the Barbarian Assault Cannon interface. Chat buttons have been slightly improved, or have been slightly moved to limit accidental interaction. It is no longer possible to tap through the gap between the side stones on the side panel. Thank God. That was so annoying. When the bank interface is closed and the side panel was previously open, the panel will now automatically reopen to match the behavior on the desktop version. So I've been waiting for an update or a bug fix that I've submitted 3-4 times on mobile, and I guess before we move off from the news, have you had the bug where when you tap on your screen, you're clicking above where you're actually tapping? It's weird. It always happens when I'm doing agility at Sears, and I don't know what triggers it, but at some point I have to just reopen the app because I will tap and I'll see the yellow blip be a couple millimeters above my finger. Have you ever had that?
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah, I don't know. It messes me up, especially when I try because I do Sears with the Camelot teleport to the bank. So I do my loop, try and click it, and all of a sudden I'm trying to telegrab shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I have to go down and now I'm clicking Artie teleport, and I'm almost hitting cam. It's annoying. I don't know if that's common or if that's just my phone, but I don't know. I'm really hoping that I hope it's not just me and they can fix it. It's real frustrating. Anyways, moving on, I guess, to the meat of... It's not the news, but it's more of a suggestion, I guess. Mod West, he's been working hard to look at ways he can improve the Kurend. What we'll be talking about is from his viewpoint, and it covers his intention with the Hosidius House. And, we'll be able to talk about it a bit. So this main thing is the rework to the Hosidius House, which is the farming house on Kurend. Which as a concept, do you like that? Do you think it needs reworking?
I don't think it needs reworking, but I can kind of see where he's coming from. If you look at it now, there's a lot going on. I mean, it makes sense. If you're providing most of the food to the Kingdom of Kurend, you're going to want a lot of space for these farming activity things, but a lot of it is useless to us, right?
Yeah. From a lore-wise, it kind of makes sense why a third of the map is plowing lands.
Mm-hmm. The only thing is, not really. It's not like there's a bunch of NPCs working them.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like, well, I mean, you use the plows to get favor, but
they have so many plows. It would make sense if you saw a bunch of other people working them all the time. Maybe their intentions were there'd be a lot of people grinding out favor at all. You know what I mean? Like, you go to pest control, boats are always filled. You'd think eventually the boats are going to slowly die out because people are going to get their void.
Do you think?
But there's always people going.
Do you think maybe their intentions were to never allow you to cap? Because eventually they changed it so you could like cap and keep the rates. Do you think
that's true?
Do you think they actually, like, their original idea was people were like, gotta go grind my Hosidius again, and they're just like plowing?
It's possible. I mean, like I said, it makes sense, but their design here,
it's better.
Game wise, this design is better, but lore wise, you know what I mean? I think they either need to go with this. We're going to go into the design in a minute, but either go with this design now or add more NPCs to what we currently have who are going to be doing random work around the farms.
Yeah, the main thing is, my main gripe is that the Kurend in general has a lot of, like, space. Like, I feel like someone was like, I'm going to get into map building because that shit's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
And so they go and they make, like, a basic layout with map, now cool rivers and, you know, a little pond here. Because there are some areas that are, like, actually really nice on the Kurend. If you just, like, run around and explore, there's some, like, actually, like, really cool little spots. You're like, oh, that'd be cool. But then I feel like after they made the land, they're like, oh, we gotta put stuff here. And then they like, okay, farming, Hosidius goes, and you know what I mean? Like, they kind of planned it all out, and they're like, okay, we need to fill this space up. Okay, 50 things to plow. Let's go. Boom.
Copy and paste. Boom, 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 boom. Now we have 100 of these little plots.
Yeah. So what they've done is they've kind of removed a lot of the actual like agriculture aspect of the Hosidius House, and they've replaced it with like a farmer's market.
Which is cool.
Like, honestly, like, gameplay wise and like player experience wise, it's dope. Lore wise,
it still makes sense. A farmer's market.
But the main thing that, like, you've talked about is that Hosidius is so big was because of they had like a plague on their crops. How would you say that?
There was some plague that, because they were all separate houses sort of deal. But then they decided, okay, Hosidius, take all this land, use it to farm and provide us food.
Yeah, there's mass starvation. That's why Hosidius is bigger than everything. So I feel like with this rework, Hosidius is still really big, but it doesn't make sense why it's so much bigger than everything else. But anyways, so they have like River Hos, which I don't really know the Hosidius River. That's like a whole new area, right? Like a whole new piece of land.
There is a river that runs through, goes to the ocean.
But it looks like there's like a farming type thing right next to it. There is vegetation there, at least on the map.
Well, that farming land would be there is a farming spot in Hosidius House right now.
Well, yeah, you can see two of them next to the farmstead. But I mean, like, whatever, I don't know whatever that stuff is, unless it's always been there.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Anyways, you guys have no idea what we're talking about because we're just like looking at an image, but they pretty much added a farmer's market, which has like a farming shop, a bar, a bank, a tree to cut. I don't know what kind of tree. They have some cooking spots. They have the POH, the guy, like, you buy your house from, the real estate agent up in like the northern area, I guess. They've kind of like moved everything around, and it does look really nice.
It looks less planned. It reminds me of when people would first settle on land, and they're just throwing things wherever they can find a spot. Whereas before, it looks a lot more organized, as if there was one ruler who was like doing some city planning.
Well, not like, it looks like just like robotic. Like the way it is now, if you look at it, it's like very like, it's obvious someone hit Control X, cut out, or maybe Control C and copied some squares, and then just boom, 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 and they just dedicated, okay, this big area we're filling up with this, and this big area, you know what I mean? Like, it felt very like
But looking at it like lore wise, it looked more like city planning the way it is now. It's like city planned, whereas this, it's kind of, you know, a farmer would move in and, oh, this part I can put my crops, and he would just start growing on some nice land.
Yeah, it feels a lot more organic.
It a bit more organic and a little bit more messy.
I don't think they were, like, you can still see the plow stuff. They have like two of them, it looks like. So I don't think they're going to change the way you gain favor if they reworked it. But anyways, so let's talk about more about the thought process behind this. So the Kren rework that we implemented in the late 2016 helped tackle the issues of Zeah's overall shape. The lack of bodies of water and absence of castles. What it failed to do was address the issue of the building size, as this would have required tweaking of the wall kits, which at the time was way beyond the scope of the project. If you take the area of all banks in Oldschool RuneScape, you'll find the largest on the mainland is Varrock West, not including the Grand Exchange. It has a rough area, roughly an area of 165, I guess, squares. While the biggest bank on Zeah is the Arceus Bank, at an area of 324, almost twice the size. So the size of the bank may not mean much to you, but think of it as this way. When 5 people are stood in Sears Village Bank, it seems busy. However, if you have the same amount of people stood in either Arceus, Shazian, or the Hosidius Bank, it seems empty. This perpetuates the idea that Zeah is a ghost town and that nobody is there, when in truth there are plenty of players there, as much as any other place in OSRS. It's just incredibly spread out, which I totally believe. Like, that makes you go to the catacombs, it's packed because like everything's so compact, with like monsters like touching butts, leaking into other monster spawns. There's like constant people there, but then you walk like 20 feet and you go to like, there's one guy at the cooking house doing the pizza, playing Overcooked, and you're like, oh. And you see like 2 people cooking at the Hosidius kitchen, but it still looks empty because it's a big area.
Yeah. So that's, I agree completely. Go to the Grand Exchange. Maybe you don't have the total level for this, but go to like the max total level worlds or the 2,000 total level worlds.
Well, like even use the example of
empty though. What I'm trying to say is like there's 3 people there, and the place looks so barren compared to World 2, where it's just packed with people.
Oh yeah, because
it's such a big area that even just having a couple people there, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like empty because it's so much bigger.
Well, like I like the example they use of Sears Bank, because I think that's the smallest bank in the game. Like actual bank. There might be like a bank chest.
I think maybe the Varrock Bank, Varrock East.
They're probably the same size.
Anyways,
like you could count the Zarek tent.
Yeah.
But even like Alcarad, you know what I mean? Like random places like that, those banks, there's like 3 people, but like the size and the amount of slots, like, oh. But even if you're you're doing Brutal Black Dragons and you're banking in Shazian, you can see like 3-4 people chilling there, but like it's so spaced out that you're like, yeah. Anyways, I really like how they acknowledge that.
Yeah, I hope they kind of add more NPCs doing things too, because that in itself brings more life to it. You see guys doing certain tasks. Even if you go to the cooking area using the Hosidius kitchen, there's a chef kind of talking to one of their apprentices.
Well, berating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my boss yelling at me.
Cook faster. But little things like that add more life to the game, right? It makes it seem... That's what is so awesome about RuneScape compared to other games, that it's an interactive world. You're playing your thing, and there's tons of people, NPCs and real people in-game, doing their own thing. You might not ever interact with them, but it makes it feel like Varrock seems like a bustling city, right? You have that fur seller who's like shouting at you to buy stuff, and those kids are always yapping.
Mm-hmm.
And you have just like people just running around, you know what I mean? Like
dogs barking, whining for you.
You have that guy delivering planks.
Yep.
North of Varrock.
Yep.
It just seems, busy. It seems like, an actual city.
Mm-hmm. So the next example, or I guess they mention that the bank being the first example, but all the houses and the actual like buildings and usable areas is very bloated. And they show a redesign of the Teeth Farm, which we didn't even talk about, but Teeth Farm is a mini game that, fun fact, if you're like EHP nerd, if you care about efficient hours played, it is not worth it to get the farming outfit.
Not even going for 200 mil?
Maybe if you're going for
I've heard it was.
Maybe the thought process behind it, because I know some people are going to disagree, is that farming, you're doing tree runs, right? EHP, so you're trying to be as efficient. Get over 100k in 10 minutes. And then teeth farming, it's 100k in an hour. So it's minus, anyways.
The cool thing about teeth farming, though, is while you're waiting for your crops to grow, you can go do some teeth farming. So it's consistent
Farming outfit does look dope. I honestly got it for Fashionscape. But
yeah, it's good.
So teeth farming is, people hate it. It's a really obnoxious, click-intensive, focus-heavy game. That takes a long time to get the rewards like seed boxes. Once you de-weed patches, they won't get weeds again.
Yep.
So there are actual, like, some nice quality of life uses you get out of it. But if you look at it, there is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 35, because 5 of them are always used. 35, like, tills of, like, usable planting land, which you can plant 4 plants in at a time. Anyways, it's massive, and you can have, like, the main thing is that you need 4 if you're being, like, efficient to, like, do teeth farming, so kind of makes sense why it's big, but on a highly populated world, there's, like, maybe one other person using it.
Yeah.
And typically they want the same spot as you, so, like, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like...
World hop.
Yeah, exactly. It's extremely big, and it's, like, it's really gross to be in there. Like, it's just so big, and you feel like, what, like, you know, it just feels shitty because it's so big. So they, like, reduced the size of it by, like, 4 times while still keeping the main concept. I wonder if it if this would change the points per hour. I'm not too sure, but in general, like, the way they've redesigned it, it's more, instead of it just being like one big square with a bunch of little rectangles cut out into it in like a pattern, a 2x8 of squares of, like, tillable land or, like, plantable land and, like, walking space. They've, like, really condensed it down so it's, like, much smaller. I don't know. I like, and so this is one of their examples of, like, changing the bloating size, fixing the bloated feeling of all the houses and whatnot. So they shrunk down the, like, teeth size. So typically there was, 35 plantable sections, which you can plant 4 in.
Yep.
But they've now changed it so this new one has 34 plantable locations, like, spots, because you can hold 4 per. So they like reduced it by, like, a crap ton, and you only need 20 at most. So yeah, they've like this gives you a good example of how much they're cutting things down, or they would like to.
Yeah,
if everyone agrees. Another notable change that they're wanting to make is that, or Mod West is wanting to make, is that the lack of Loganova Grill Colors cooking supply store, goddamn, or, you know, more oftenly called Xerix Glade. So that farming patch would be moved, and the only noticeable feature here is the Teeth Farm, which has its own minigame teleport, so the need for a teleport to be here is reduced, but Loganova store has been moved to the main town market, while the building and the teleport have been moved north of the Vinery. They're also willing to keep the Glade teleport that's on your Xeric Talisman necklace, which you get from the Hosidius House. You know, they're also willing to keep the original teleport.
Well, the talisman comes from the shaman, Lisbon shamans.
Yeah, Hosidius House.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd use that teleport because it always brought me close to the farming patch.
Yeah.
Where it is currently, so.
Oh yeah, it was the closest teleport. So the town itself, if Teeth Farm gets moved and all this stuff, the large area that gets freed up, they'll be utilizing it in pretty much a town now. They're turning, like, a farming
industry.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think of, like, something. Industrial agriculture into, like, an actual booming town, maybe a little Stardew.
Yeah.
A little Stardew-esque. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe in their tap time, they're just, like, playing Stardew Valley because it's multiplayer now. And they're like,
great game.
This should be Hosid. Maybe they're playing RuneScape and they're fletching wood cutting and they're playing Stardew on the side. And they're like, yo, we need Stardew in our game. Anyways,
we need to steal this idea.
Yeah. So most of these buildings are not new, but they relocate them. In some cases, they've had their layout changed, and the only new buildings are the ones that come directly north of the farmer's market, the corn exchange and granary. The House of Lord Hosidius has been moved from its previous location east of the Vinery. The chapel's been moved over, and a ruin has now appeared in its wake. Other notable features are the moving of the main bank and the pub, as well as the appearance of a farmer's market.
I do like the sound of it. I hope the farmer's market is alive with NPC action.
What if there's, like, beggars everywhere, though?
That's the new... Well, they're out of the GE now.
And it just... Okay, yeah, true. It just stinks. Don't go to his city. There's a lot of stinky bums there. But
to the homeless move.
Yeah. So some new additions on the outskirts of this town. There would be, like, to the south would be the new location of the farming patch. To the east would be the glade. To the west, the ruined temple. To the north, there would now be a flax field and some cows and chickens. So, not bad.
Cool.
Western Hosidius, now it's a lot emptier due to everything being moved. And there's more space for cookhouse, as well as reshaping the mess to have a smaller footprint. And the ruined temple dungeon. It's a new idea they like to implement.
This one's weird.
I get like if you look at the image, the text looks like it came straight. It reminds me of Undertale. I don't really play that game that much.
Great game.
But I don't know if you get that same vibe looking at this map.
Yeah, or like a Nintendo 64 game.
Yeah.
Some dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
Not Nintendo 64, NES, sorry.
In the Hosidius dungeon, there are, I guess, a bunch of, like, it feels really random, some of the stuff they've added. But anyway, so they've added, like, a lot of sections and whatnot. One of them being, I guess the first one we'll talk about is the spider's den. So it's the first large room that you stumble across in the dungeon. There's 21 red spiders and Abkar, a 5x5 giant red spider that fires highly accurate range attacks. Now, is that a boss?
So this is why I'm confused with
or
this.
Or a demi-boss or something. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm confused about this dungeon because that's all the information we have about the spider's den. Is it a boss? Will it have unique drops? What boss will this be geared for? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of this? Why are people coming here? Is it going to be a boss? Or maybe it's just a really strong monster that's going to make it tricky to navigate the dungeon. In which case, why? What's at the end of the dungeon you want to get to?
Well, yeah, let's go over everything, and then we'll have, like, our speculations, because I'm kind of not 100% sure. So, in the second room, there'll be the temple kitchen, and you'll find an injured Saradomus monk called Brother Amari. Once healed to full health, will give the player valuable information about the dungeon in the adjoining room. 6 undead druids can be found around the ancient clay stove. How would you heal them? Would you just use food on them? Little lunar magic?
Maybe. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm. The grubby chest. So at the end of a long corridor is a locked gate that can be picked with 57 thieving. Behind the door lies the grubby chest. To unlock it, use a grubby key on it. The grubby chest contains an assortment of foods. By rolling 4 times on the table below, we'll talk about what's on it. This means the most food that can be obtained is 24, healing a total of 192. Minimum of 8, healing total of 152. So you can get roast beast meat, 4 to 6, which is common. A stew, 3 to 4, which is uncommon. 3 to 4 meat pies, uncommon. 3 to 4 potatoes with cheese, uncommon. And 2 curry, which is rare.
Okay.
Yeah. Getting like a D&D-esque feel to this. You know what I mean?
It is cool. Like, I'm
D&D dungeon crawly, like a old school type.
I am digging it. You make it past the red spiders. You don't have any more food, but guess what? There's a chest which will give you some food.
This is like,
you can continue on.
This is like Theater of Blood for babies. That's what this is. But yeah, so after this, the next room will be the library. And this room contains 4 undead druids and various bookshelves which can be searched for ancient texts. And these describe snippets of lore about the ancient religion of the sun that is practiced in the southern kingdom of Varlamore. Dark Souls praise the sun.
Citas Illa Fortes.
What's that?
That's the city that's in Varlamore.
Varlamore
is in direct, or was in direct, battle with Korend. Varlamore is a large city, which may or may not be larger than Zeah, but
it better not be.
It's south of the Great Korend, but we don't actually have it yet. And this is where the proposed Colosseum is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you remember, there's supposed to be a volcano dungeon that you need a party to go into.
Raid 3?
Raid 3.
Yeah, so pretty interesting. After this room, so there's another room. There's a couple more. We're almost done with the rooms. But after this room, there's the Scorched Grotto, which is a large room containing 9 red dragons. And the west entrance leads to the library, while the north leads to a shortcut that requires 75 agility to navigate. There's also a corridor to the northwest that leads to the sacrificial chamber, but the door needs to be unlocked from the other side. Yeah. The Altar of Sun will be in the next room, and this room contains an NPC called Albertus. and an altar to recharge your prayer points. The Crypt of the Moon is the next room, which is a large room that has 8 undead druids and a stone relief depicting Ralos and Renal, the opposing forces of the old druidic religion. For some reason, when I read those, I just, like the super old school, like high and low detail guys? I don't think those are their names. I'm pretty sure it's not. 99% sure it's not. The skeleton for low detail and like the knight for high detail.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but like those are like those. I know that's not it, but I don't know why they just popped in my head. Next room, yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Crunchy and Tim.
Yeah, Crunchy and Tim. I don't know why those names like remind me of those guys though. Maybe just the 2 R's. I don't know. But the sacrificial chamber. So Edon the tanner has set up a miniature tanning stall within the chamber. He charges far higher prices than normal tanners. In the center of the small room, there's a bone burner. This can be used to sacrifice bones for a 3x multiplier, and there's also a chance that the rewards will appear on the plinth, requiring a temple key. Interesting. We have a little bit more to talk about, and then we'll give our opinions about this, speculations. So characters, a little more in detail. So Brother Amari, the monk who decided to research the history of the temple, but has managed to get stuck after narrowly escaping from the spider's den. If you give him some food, he'll tell you some information about any items you find within the dungeon. Albertus, a shady character with something to sell. Edon the tanner, he's in a locked ritual chamber. He offers an expensive option for tanning any leathers, and it's a multiple of 10. So if you're gonna tan dragon leather, it'll be 200 per hide. Some of these items that they tease is the grubby key we mentioned. It's a key drop from monsters within the Hosidius dungeon that can be used on the chest that you get, various foods from. The temple key, which is used to open up shortcuts within the dungeon. It can be retrieved by sacrificing bones to the flame in the sacrificial chamber. Pretty interesting. Now, what is this? Why is this an idea? What is this about?
Now that you mentioned it, I honestly feel like, who is it? Mod West? Mod West. Okay, sorry. It honestly feels like Mod West had D&D night where he was DMing one night and he was like, okay, and he got carried away and made this dungeon. And then he's like, this is all just wasted on, extracurricular fun activities. Mm-hmm. I need to, get 2 birds stoned at once and bring this into work and pitch this idea where they can all go, best Jagex employee. Look at that. This is so. I mean, it's cool. But when you mentioned the whole Dungeons and Dragons feel, I'm looking at this and it kind of gives me a different look at it.
So I feel like if this becomes a thing, everyone who's listened and remembered this experience is pretty ruined. I feel like this is something that a new player falls into and is like, what the fuck is this? And they go through this cool dungeon where this is really cool. And they do it once and let me show my friends. And then there are all those noobs go and do it and they're like, dude, this is cool. But then they never go back. You kind of do it once, or you maybe another time with a friend to show it. But I feel like this is I feel like it's a very one-time use type thing. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, you stumble upon. I feel like it's meant for exploring, and then you realize there's no reward at the end.
But maybe because there's some stuff that they don't talk about. They have exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark,
question marks
with an item, or there's still some stuff that they haven't told us about. There's an icon, and then in the key, the legends, they have a couple exclamation marks. There are some secrets.
Question marks, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry.
Okay.
Was I saying exclamation?
Yeah. I'm not are we looking at the same picture?
Ah! That's symbols. So, one, I feel like I was kind of hoping when we first started talking about this, I was kind of hoping that Abkar was the new KBD in sense of easy to boss type thing. You can be a noob and you just fight something easy.
And the rewards are shit.
Yeah, but you kind of just do it for fun.
Yeah.
I don't try bossing. Well, why don't you go here? Bunch of red spiders, fight this big ass red spider, pray range, and you're golden.
Raids for noobs? Free to play raid? So, I think this is cool, but here's my problem with RuneScape. The game's very much about, no XP wasting. People fall into that attitude all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
So exploring isn't done too much. It would have been done when we first played this game. We would have stumbled upon this if we were kids still and been like, whoa, this is freaking sweet. Let's see what's at the end. Oh, there's a boss. He killed me. Let's go back. Try it again. I want to see what's at the end. So it'd be fun to explore. Part of the problem is for the most part, you're going to know what is exactly in this dungeon when it's released because of the devblogs.
Yeah.
So the source of exploration, the sense of exploration is kind of taken away just from looking at this, right?
Yeah, I think it's a fault of the polling system. Good example. Imagine if you jumped on one day and someone said, dude, there's a fucking hill giant boss. What? Yeah, I think there's a dungeon down there. People said that they got a key and they fought a boss. And you're like, dude, really? And then you go and like do it. But if you're me, you're like, oh yeah, Thursday, the hill giant boss is coming out.
Let's grind that club and make money.
Literally. So I went and just brought my cannon, was getting like a key, like so many keys an hour, got a club, sold it for like 4 mil on day one, and never went back on my main.
Yeah, but how cool would it be if you didn't know he dropped the club, and then one day someone found out?
Yeah, you see some dude walking around with a big old club.
There has to be something in this, even if it's something slightly pointless. You know what I'm saying? Like, healing the Ceradomus monk is a good example of something that's kind of pointless, but it's a cool Easter egg.
But also with the wiki, you can just look up the items, and, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, you don't really need them. I feel like this will be made for noobs that just, because like, I guess we're like outside of the bubble. I highly doubt, because we're like averaging 85,000 concurrent players, 5,000 of them are real. No, but in all seriousness,
good numbers.
I'm pretty sure the average person just logs on and just like plays. They don't care too much about the updates.
Let me ask you this. Every now and then, do you see something that you're like, what is that? And it kind of brings you to this area. You're like, what is this doing here? So you might look it up. It happens to me very rarely, but it does happen.
I don't, it's gonna sound like super douchey or like, but like, that doesn't really happen, because like we talk past every update, we've talked about it, you know what I mean, in depth for like 2 years. There's some stuff where it's like, I forgot they added that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's, yeah. But rarely do I can't think of any moments since I like started playing old school, like heavy air quotes, seriously, where I'm like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, maybe when I quit and came back and Zara had come out, and I'm like, what's Zara? Wiki it. Huh. Let's look at these items. Huh. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
it happens to me very rarely, as I said, but it happens from time to time. A lot of the time, it causes me just to do a wiki search.
Yeah.
Like that muddy chest that's in the wilderness. Oh, what is that? I've never even opened that. Does it give anything good? Look it up. No, it doesn't. Okay. Not really missing out on anything.
Yeah.
But it's there. But I know one time where it kind of, because the wiki's great, it doesn't have everything. It's missing some things. It's missing a lot of lore things. When I do these lore segments, a lot of it's like kind of left out because people don't care, right? So it's not added, so I have to go search it through other means. But because of that, there was this one time when I was doing Wintertodt back in my Airbnb adventures. Remember that saga 2 years ago? Anyways, no, about a year ago. When I was doing Wintertodt, there's a cat outside, and I went to go talk to it. I don't know why. I just clicked on it, and nothing happened. So then I went and got my cat speak amulet, went back and talked to him again, and he had this dialogue saying I could really use some tuna right now. I was like, oh, okay, what happens if I go get tuna? So I went and got tuna, then I gave him tuna, and he ate it, and more dialogue opened up, and the cat ended up asking me for frogs, I believe, a type of frog. It's saying that he was like chasing. And there's a frog who's jumping around Wintertodt. I think it's called Winter Toad, but he's jumping around there. So I was like, okay, can I do anything with that frog? No, I can't. Maybe I'll get him some frog legs. Nothing. Maybe I have to go get a frog from the ogre swamps, right, with the bellows. So when I got that, nothing happened. I think, so I looked on the wiki and it never had anything past that dialogue. So it's either one, there's something you have to give him frog related, or that's the end of the Easter egg. But it was kind of cool, kind of stumbling upon that and kind of slightly exploring what comes next.
Yeah, actually, the last thing that like blew my mind of like what is this was when someone accidentally found the corrupted armor, the purple
That was cool.
transparent armor. If you don't know, there is armor equivalent to iron, and it's like, think of like ghostly robes, but it's plate and it's like purple. It's like a purple semi-translucent like tinge. Someone had like random items like Arun and like a vial in their inventory, and they talked to like Horvik or someone in Varrock, and he gave them this armor, and Jagex implemented it into the game for like a little Easter egg thing they're going to bring out in a bit, but someone accidentally found it, and Jagex was like, what? Are you kidding me?
The thing is, they never released that this happened. So when that happened, people were just like, what?
Yeah, what's going on? And then the Jagex were like, yeah, we hid this stuff, and you're like, that's cool.
And people, I remember that week, maybe 2 weeks, were scrambling to figure out, where's the rest of the armor?
Yeah.
What items do you... Because you need to have weird items in your inventory.
Like Arun's in a vial. Like, that's it. It's not like a combo. You couldn't have, like, PK set up, and then you just have, like, a vial and Arun. It's just, like, you needed very, very specific inventory setups to get it.
So it was very cool. Problem, I guess. Fast forward to now, you want to go on Wiki.
Yeah, just go on the Wiki.
The odd noob is going to stumble upon that. But for that 1 week of enjoyment of seeing the subreddit post, you're going, what? People thought it was a glitch.
Yeah. Bring it back. I guess I'll say one more thing. We'll bring it back to why I think this is geared towards noobs. Not noobs, but like people that aren't...
Wikiing everything?
Yeah, and like following with like devblogs and stuff. Is, if you ever walk around or bank stand with a Din's Bulwark, you'll find a lot of people asking you what the hell that is.
It is pretty cool.
When I was doing my little black chin grind, and I was, I'd bank stand with my Din's Bulwark, or like, I'd go to the canoe and I'm cutting down. I like had some noob come up to me and be like, what is that you're holding on to? And I'm like, Din's Bulwark. He's like, what? What's that? I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of cool. Get to explain it to him, talk to him for a little bit. The guy just like started playing, you know what I mean? He's like, just like innocent guy who's never played RuneScape before, and he's like, sees this item he's never seen. And it's like, I feel like this is kind of like, yeah, you stumble across it. Unless it's directly linked to a quest, or like unless they add more of a reason for people to like do this specifically.
Do you think there should be a reason to have these type of dungeons?
Honestly, 10 years ago, maybe like 15 years ago, yeah, that would have been, this type of stuff would have been amazing.
To have no reason to have it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but the fact that like it's like already been told what's going to be in it and stuff, like completely kills the whole idea of it.
Mind you, the average player does not look at the dev blogs.
Yeah, that's true.
I never looked at all of them until we started doing this podcast.
I always like just like rip through it, see if there's anything that caught my eye. I wouldn't read into it in detail.
I'd half pay attention. I wasn't checking the website to see what dev blogs they had each week.
I wonder if there's going to be any rewards or if it's going to be locked behind favor. That's my main thing. I feel like this spider boss might drop like eggs. Might be nice for Iron Man maybe.
Yeah.
And I think the main use would be like the experience multiplier.
Yeah.
With the bones, but
maybe kill some red dragons.
Yeah.
Bring the bones there.
Anyways, we have a little bit more to talk about. So the Old Fort in Saltpeter, which is Saltpeter farming or mining area, is pretty common for favor gain and dynamite making, I believe.
And it sucks.
Awful. But the Old Fort is a relic of the Old Kourend and is a stronghold that was utilized. You want to go over this stuff? This is all lore.
Yeah, okay. The Old Fort is a relic of Old Kourend, a stronghold that was utilized during the War of the Five Houses. After King Kurtz I built the kingdom, he demanded all strongholds be abandoned and a single castle would be built on the fields of war where the main battle took place. Before the war, House Hosidius was built around a saltpeter deposit. This invaluable resource is what made House Hosidius the powerhouse of farming trade that it still is today. However, the old town is now occupied by a small company that operate the saltpeter distribution to all of Kourend. Due to the moving of the bank, you'd imagine that this may make collecting saltpeter a hassle, but worry not. The structure in the center of the 5 saltpeter deposits has a deposit box. Blah, 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 blah. Efficiency not destroyed. Looks a lot cleaner, I must say. Yeah.
And the shortcut has been moved farther north, and the shortcut to the old location now houses on a bridge. There are skeletons and bats at the old fort. And then the castle town, which I didn't even realize is Hosidius.
The castle?
The castle town, they call it, which is where you like run through to get to the dungeon, to the catacombs, or teleport to, because no one runs in Zeah anymore.
It is basically smack dab in the middle, but it does kind of...
I always just thought it was like general area, but whatever. But yeah, so the Kren Castle has always felt like a part of the Hosidius House. I disagree because I didn't even realize it was. But this is likely due to the sharing of the same style of paths, and these paths don't really fit the Hosidius House all too well due to being a house that focuses on farming and not Roman roads.
Cool.
Yeah. Now the Hosidius town has all the houses that used to take up the space. Opportunities for parks and houses for the council arise, creating a small central town of its own. This helps to create a buffer around the Hosidius House, avoiding Koran looking like a kingdom-sized city. This will be explored further when they want to remake the Arceus and Lovakench houses.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Mon West is like it's a personal project, and he spends his free time doing this. Keep that in mind; it's not taken away from the game. It's D&D night. He gets a couple of cool ideas.
He's using RuneScape in his D&D nights, and he goes, let me tweak some things.
Yeah. So don't expect this to be done in a timely manner. It's just all for fun, and you just, give him feedback, send him some Rule 34 Neve or something, And it's also important to highlight that other projects of mine haven't been abandoned. I'm just being more wary on what I can do in the time I have and impact it will have on the game. While I am a big fan of my other designs, I feel like this needs to be done sooner rather than later as it impacts the future additions to Zeah. We're very much interested in making. So that was pretty long, but I think it's important because like Zeah is still there's a lot of like red flags for like poor game design. I feel like day one of Koren
being released
was like, I feel like they were really pushed for new content because of this.
Well, this was a big deal on release when they're releasing Koren because they're going to be releasing a new continent that is adds 50% more to the full RuneScape map.
Yep.
RuneScape 3 people saw a new continent that we're getting that they do not have, and they were all going, what the hell?
Ironically, it was the biggest turning point to bring Oldschool away from RS3, and it was also arguably, it came off as very rushed.
Well, yeah, it definitely did.
Maybe not rushed. It was a good idea, but the execution just not there.
Yeah.
With the way you gained and held favor, with I do feel like it's too big. I feel like it bit off too more than they could chew.
Well, on release, there was no farming, or there was no woodcutting guild.
Nope.
The catacombs weren't there.
Nope.
Blood runes, were those there?
Don't
feel like they weren't.
I don't think so, but I also it's rune crafting. Who cares? No. Seriously, I have no idea.
Chambers of Zarek wasn't there.
Nope.
Winter Todd was not there.
Nope.
And I know there's more. It was very.
It was big and barren.
Yeah.
It's like every open world RPG.
So the main reason why they brought Zeah in the first place was this gave them an area where they could work on their own lore without going on to RuneScape 3 territory. Because the problem with doing lore in old school RuneScape is
it has to coincide with RuneScape 3, I guess. It has to kind of agree with the lore, and has to kind of old school has to make enough sense lore-wise and everything that RuneScape 3 would happen eventually.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're aware of it, but in case you're not, in the timeline of RuneScape lore, old school RuneScape is in the 5th age. RuneScape 3 is set in the future of us in the 6th age. We're on the year 169 of the 5th age, and that is actually the turning point where RuneScape 3 at some point goes into the next age, which is when Guthix dies?
He gets PK'd, dude.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So when that happens, that's the turning point for a new age. RuneScape 3 has a ton of lore, so you can't do something in old school RuneScape where let's say a quest line goes into the Queen Black Dragon, but she's actually a person because the Queen Black Dragon already exists in RuneScape 3 and it's an actual monster and there's lore to that. So it needs to make sense. They need to fit in together.
Yeah.
So
they could put like Karen's Zeah, they could apply all their really cool ideas that they want to add to the game that's not related to RS3 to this new land. So it's like the big P word, a lot of potential.
Yeah, so they can do whatever lore they want with this new land, because in RuneScape 3 it's not there. And you might be thinking, well, doesn't that already have a problem with lore because there's a continent we've discovered that they haven't? But they can use the same argument with Zulrah, where maybe we've discovered it, but then in the future, the people who knew about Zulrah die. Something happens to them and it becomes forgotten again, right?
Third Age armor and all that stuff, it's like...
disappears for a bit.
Yeah, there's still things in the past that you don't...
that you lost. Lost information, even in the real... especially in the real world.
Yeah.
What happened to these certain things? Well, we don't know, but people at some point knew.
Yep. So, I don't know, it's kind of cool, but my main question is, like, if they go step by step and they, like, rework Hosidius, and then Arceus, then Lovakenge, Shazian at some point... Piscators, I actually like how it is.
It's small. It's it's on the shoreline.
And it's like a port.
Yeah, it's a port area.
They might need to make the docks a little shorter. And don't make them like a football stadium. Or like, I don't need to bring 3 Stams to like run and talk to Vios. But my main concern is if they like condense and clean up, because it's very cut and paste and very like, you could tell that programmers made it. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell it was like engineered.
I know what you mean. Going back to the release of Zeah, so that's why they did it, was to give them some build, a foundation to build upon.
Yep.
When it was first released, they had announced that there's going to be 3 phases of Zeah before it's finished. Phase 1 was the actual continent.
Yep. Phase
2, I guess, more activities on the continent. So when it first came out, though, it was just a square.
Mm-hmm.
Every house was literally just a square. There was, it wasn't broken up. It looked cut and paste, as you said, right?
Yeah.
But more so than how it is now. Eventually, Gentle Tractor, which is a user on the subreddit, who comes up with all these like brilliant designs and all these changes, and he puts a lot of work into these suggestions. And a lot of the time, Jagex sees them and says, wow, doing the work for us, that looks great. So he did do a redesign to part of Zeah to make it look more like an actual place.
Mm-hmm.
So they've changed it since then, and that's what we have now. But anyways, we're still currently on phase 2, where they're adding content to it. There's still phase 3 where they need to finish Zeah.
Yeah.
Which is why we have that Volamore city that's not even released yet. That's probably going to be phase 3.
Yep. So, like, my main concern is, though, like, once they condense, they clean up and all this stuff, like, are they either, 1, going to remove land, or 2, just, like, add activity on it? You know what I mean? Like, because, like, the main issue with Zeah is that it's so big that I think, in general, it'll always feel barren.
That's what I was saying before. Add some NPCs doing things, even if there's part of the maps that you don't need to ever go to. If you stumble upon it and you see these NPCs trading at a farmer's market and like haggling or whatever it is, maybe you see some guys mining saltpeter and seeing some mining carts going down the paths to trade it, or maybe they're delivering it to the middle of it, the castle. It makes it feel more alive.
Yeah. My main thing, like, they do have like cool little things. You can find like a sleeping dog next to a bench near like one of the areas. Like, if you just run around and explore, it's actually in the Hosidius area. You can find like cool little things like that where it's just like, it's kind of random. There's like a dog sleeping.
Is there an Easter egg tied to it?
I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Made a little GIF there that I use on my stream and stuff sometimes. But like Twitch and Twitter, Deacon RS. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely a good step. I just don't know enough of what their plan is. I guess no one does, besides, I don't even know if they know, to be honest, at this point.
It's been, what, like 3 years since it's been released?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the idea, and I guess you'll see similar concept changes, the Arceus and Lovakenge.
If this goes well. Yeah. Eventually his D&D group's going to get to the other parts of this continent, and he's going to have to rework it. Now, if we shoot down this idea,
nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I wonder if maybe you get like one random like scepter piece. Let's just go with the scepter because Jagex loves them scepters. But like you get like a random scepter piece, and then like you go to like the Shazian and do their dungeon to get another. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe fragments to a key, and you do like all this stuff, and then you like open up Gillinor. I don't know. You know what I mean? Open up like the new area, like have it segue into this next area, or maybe nothing happens because they don't implement it.
Yeah,
because it gets voted no. But anyways, community stuff.
Community stuff. All right. So first things first. Should we update the JMod scandal?
Sure.
All right. Well, some of the victims who had gotten hacked, they had their items returned, but it seemed like some of those victims were hacked again. And this could be because Mod Jed and the Wild Boys, or unknown Jagex mod, who stole some of this information.
What do you mean, Rod?
Well, so whoever stole the information.
No, Mod Jed and Rod. You said Mod Jed and Wild Boys.
Well, I mean, sorry, I thought that was the nickname we were giving the JMod.
Aren't we Wild Boys?
Yeah.
Hashtag Wild Boys?
Yeah.
I think you're outing us as actually like we're deep mind.
We should just stop recording here. No, I was trying to. It's a throwback. You called them the true Wild. Anyways, doesn't matter. Mod Jed and the Rot family, whatever. With the information they had stolen from these users, some of the information you can't really change. You can change your password, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't change when your account was made. You can't change the IPs. You know what I mean? There's a bunch. Well, I guess you could change the IPs, but there's a bunch of information that when it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, your account is permanently compromised.
Yeah.
Which is the dumbest thing ever.
Yep. So a bunch of these people got hacked again and lost a bunch of items.
Is that like a common thing? I don't think there's any other game that you could just spam recover someone's account.
Sure there are.
Not as big as RuneScape, though.
Well, anyways, there's a bit more to the story. I guess I'll just read this post from Jagex Aiza on the subreddit. So it starts, "Hi all. As I mentioned in a previous thread, I wanted to get an update out to answer some of the recent questions that have been raised. This is what I've been approved to share with you. Again, I will politely ask you to respect that we are unable to discuss specific details due to the involvement of legal action. Topic 1. Have any accounts that had their items returned in relation to the recent statements we posted here been recovered?" And the statements were the devblogs that we mentioned last week. His answer? The answer is no. We confirm that no accounts that had their items returned were recovered via an account appeal being granted. Next topic. In regards to recently hijacked accounts where there is a link to an owner of an account that had items returned. And then he answers, any accounts mentioned on a social media have been shared by many players, specifically for the purpose of selling gold. When there is an ownership dispute on any account, we will lock it in order for the owner to prove ownership. Jagex staff members don't have access to player passwords. Any account in which the hijacker just logs in with a username and password wouldn't be due to the recent incident. The same applies to accounts in which the hijacker is able to access the personal email account of the owner and then change the password to remove the authenticator, as we don't have access to your personal email passwords. Next topic. In regards to ensuring accounts that had items returned to them cannot be easily recovered. Answer. Player support specialists. They exist.
Specialists! Sorry, go on.
Player support specialists working on an account recovery are aware of any recent or historical highly targeted accounts, and there are systems and processes in place to assist staff in safeguarding them. We cannot go into detail about these measures here, as we don't want to give hijackers information on how to potentially circumvent them. And some additional information? Of all the accounts we returned items to, over 30% of them decided to real-world trade their returned wealth either directly or through the use of alts. They have since been permanently banned. That's the most important part of this.
Yeah, makes sense though. Imagine getting hacked for like 40 bill and you're like, huh.
I guess I quit.
I'm innocent. Everyone's like, nah, you real train. And you're like, all right, I'm done playing. Maybe I'm going to go make an Iron Man. Then one day, 40 bill gets brought back onto your old main account that you don't care about anymore. Like, if my main account got hacked, like straight up recovered, I would like, 1, want to quit, 2, probably just make an Iron Man and just like, all right, that account's fucked. That sucks. Jagex can't do anything to like keep it protected. And then if they just like returned it, it's like, well, I don't care anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like you lose like all care for the account. So you're like, of course it's free money.
Yeah. So it
makes sense.
I can understand that. Yeah. It's a bit funny. It's a bit ironic, I suppose.
So you know how they said they have like special measures in place for like account recovery? I feel like it's a sticky note on like the support staff's computer being like a list of usernames being like, yeah, don't let people recover these accounts for like a couple months. And then like go down the list of like 80 people. And he name changed. I messed up. No one told me he name changed. But I like how they specify that they didn't leak passwords, but maybe I missed it or misheard, but they didn't specify that leaked recovery information. Because like obviously with the whole incident that went down, the main thing is that the accounts got like recovered or something like that. Because if someone just logged in and it was like, oh, authenticator, boom, check, well, we're set, then it would have been like, yeah, you gave your info out.
Yeah.
With like such a small support staff, I mean, they don't specify it, but I know like Zesma's account can't get recovered, SparkMax's account, because they have like a system in place where like they don't even like they'll talk to them directly if they need to get their accounts recovered. But they're not going to do that with like 80 or whatever. Like I don't know why I'm saying 80. It's definitely more than 80 people. All the people like they're not going to be in direct contact with them. So I don't know. Keep in mind, they also vetted Mod Jed and said he was safe, and then 9 months later, like, nah.
They told us he was safe. That I think.
What if this is 2.0? What if like Mod Sween is also involved in this?
No, not the Sweenmeister.
Maybe he's been bullying Mod Jed, like, yo, what up, nerd? Yo, what up, yo? Give me those infos, nerd. And like pushes him around, and just like makes him do all this stuff, and then like once he gets caught, he's like, "Well, I'll go do it myself."
They're doing this post because they know that the other parties involved. It's gonna like everyone's gonna get fired at some point. It's gonna be just one person working there, and like, guys, we have to close this game. I don't know.
It's like Mod Ash doing everything. Like
the QA is him just showing up. He doesn't even know how to start the stream.
QA is off his laptop. And he's just like coding, and he's like, "What up, guys?"
Sipping his tea and
bending his arms backwards, folding his arms into himself.
Anyways, moving on from that, the old school RuneScape wiki, something we all use, looks to be leaving the Wikia family.
Good.
Apparently. So if you don't know, I believe it's called Fandom. They're the ones that run, like, every video game has a wiki page, but it's all ran under Fandom. Like, if you use the app, you gotta download the Fandom wiki app.
Yep.
But it looks like they're gonna be trying to leave. And they made a post on the subreddit kind of letting everybody know that they want to do this.
Yeah, they're going to be like in transition to what is oldschool.runescape.wiki.
Yep.
Like they're going to have their own website-based wiki. They're going to take all the information off this Fandom host and onto their own servers.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be tied in with Runescape or Jagex.
You know what's going to be sick? When the servers get DDoS, so will the wiki. So you can't even just like look up stuff because you're bored. It's going to be amazing.
What does this dungeon do? I've always wondered what it was doing here. Oh, it's 404.
And there's dicks everywhere. Someone drew. They don't even have this. They're not even.
The JMod had access to the wiki passwords.
Well, the main thing with the Wikia is that anyone can like edit it and add info.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the vetting process is because I've made. Ooh, I'm getting pissed just thinking about this. But I remember talking to my buddy about using the Wikia for raids back in the day.
Yep.
Beginning of the year. Maybe it was you. Maybe I was talking to you about it. And there was one boss. What was the boss?
Might have been when I was learning, because I remember I'd go through some of it. I remember so there's a section in the raid where you have to fight this ice demon, and you need to cut logs and put them in the burner. And there's a certain amount of logs you need to use depending on how many people are in the raid. Well, this will melt the ice demon and allow you to actually attack him. At one point, the wiki had just one number, but it was like taken into account like a 5-man raid or something.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, so I was always cutting way too much. I just didn't know. And I remember I couldn't use the guides on the wiki. I had to go on YouTube and look for guides there to learn how to solo the raid.
It was Vasa. I think maybe me and you're talking about Vasa Mysterio or something. You're saying that like you're telling me about something on the wiki that you read on the wiki when you're trying to do the boss when you're first learning raids. And I was like, that's not right. So I went and read the wiki. I was talking to my buddy about it, and it was like, there was so much misinformation. It was like, there's like, no one has any idea of how his damage is calculated. And I'm like, that's a lie. It's based off your total current HP. And there was so much random stuff like, this is the strat. And it's like, that is not the strat. Like, all these, this is best in slot gear. No, that's not. That is awful gear. You're not bringing a whip to kill Vasa. That's like, you know what I mean? Use a stab weapon. Better off using a dragon pickaxe.
Yeah,
but like,
so anyone can edit it.
But the main thing is that there is some sort of a vetting process, and I don't know what it was. I remember trying to edit and fix a bunch of things, and a bunch of it got rejected. Some of it got passed into it. I've had other pages where it's like, these numbers aren't right. Go in, do a little editing. That goes through. Nice, it feels good. But like, I remember getting really frustrated and like wanting to contact like the names at the bottom.
Yeah.
'Cause you can like, these people did this, because there's like a couple people that really pride themselves on like how much work they put into the wiki.
Yeah.
To the point where like, I feel like if you contribute enough, you have say over corrections. I don't know though, because I've never, there's
There's definitely like a team that gets priority.
There's only one game that I did a lot of work with, and it's a fighting game called Rising Thunder. And I did like all the base wiki stuff for one of the characters with like all the combos and like the damage numbers and stuff. The game literally, like, a company bought it and shut it down. But I think all my info's still there, actually. You can find some of my unlisted videos. Some of it's been tweaked around. But so like my experience from that, like, people changed it and I was never notified. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people like removed my links and put their own links, because I had like hyperlinks to like a YouTube video that I'd make, like displaying like, say, a combo. I'm only saying that as references. I don't know how the vetting process is for like these fandom like hosted wikis. Hopefully, if they're under Jagex's control, they have like almost everything is like fine on the wiki. But like some random niche things that have like are based off of a meta, such as like raids, which is why like I'm getting all worked up about it, because like there are some things that like change that you don't really know unless you're friends with a bunch of like intense like raiders, like frequent raiders, where it's like, oh no, we use an Abbey dagger here now. Really? Yeah, because of blah, blah, you know what I mean? And then they go into like the details of it. You're like, oh, well, it doesn't say that anywhere, you know? Like Wook's solo guide, very good starting point. A lot of things are wrong, but it's a YouTube video, so like not wrong, but out of date. But now apply that to like, if Jagex is running these and like P-mods are vetting them, then like it's gonna be really bad. And that's like that's the real issue. Overall, this is obviously a good thing, because Jagex should have control. Like, I feel like RuneScape is probably like the biggest game on the wiki like used. That maybe like, what's it like? What game do you wiki stuff more than RuneScape? Like,
well, I play RuneScape more than anything else, right? But there's wikis for every game. Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Bethesda games would probably be pretty popular. But I feel like, I wonder if there's like a way to like find out what game gets wikied the most. Roblox? No. Fortnite? Check out these V-Bucks.
Well, it is pretty popular.
But no, there's not much you can look up.
Yeah. Information-wise, RuneScape is definitely up there. RuneScape 3 might even have more information than old school RuneScape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So explore wikis. It just says Elder Scrolls Wiki, and then old school RuneScape, and then Warframe, which is like a very grindy, similar, like the devs really like interact with like the players. It's like a Borderlands-esque grindy, like a shooty
like
game.
Destiny a bit, right?
Yeah, shooty grindy. I played like an hour of it, so don't hate me. I played like 4 hours of it. 3 hours of it was patching the game a long time ago. And then Nukipedia. Yeah, Fallout, Bethesda in general, and Warframe come up. And then RuneScape was like number 2. So there's like a lot of information that's going to be moved, but they do want to move it, so that'll be really cool to see. Anyways,
they're going to be separating from the fandom sites. Right now, you can even go to oldschool.runescape.wiki, and you can see it. There's a new design. It looks pretty nice. A lot more clean. I like it. I enjoy it. And people have been suggesting that maybe we get a button or some way in-game to open up the wiki.
I like it.
No more buttons.
no more buttons. Well, honestly, going back to the Hosidius spiel with the dungeon, some people just want to interact with the game and play. Like Eve has like a right click, like, I mean, they have their own like in-game browser. I think they actually might have taken it out while I was playing it, because like they had it, and I remember people talking about like they might remove it at the game company. But so Eve has like an wiki option within the game, which that game is super deep and in depth. Like there's so much shit to like, yeah. But what would happen is I'd go and play, and like I'm starting out and I'm just wikiing everything I see instead of actually, like, it was to the point where like my one buddy was like, dude, just play the game, stop trying to like learn it, just like actually, you know what I mean? And I wonder if that might deter people from like playing a fantasy MMO medieval game they played at the library when they were young. In terms of like, you know what I mean? What is that? Din's Bulwark. Yo, can I see it in trade so I can wiki it?
Yeah, and there could just be a button that opens up the web page, similar to how there's a button that opens up the Jagex web page.
Yeah, the functions I saw where you were able to click, it was made like some dude like made a plugin for RuneLand or something.
Yeah,
and you could click the orb, and you have like a magnifying glass arrow type thing, and you would click like an item, and it would open up a wiki for you for that item. Honestly, like I think of like RuneLand or like God forbid OS Buddy, but if OS Buddy or something, I think it's kind of cool to have that as like a third party option, because typically if you're using a third party client, you're like wikiing more. But if you're like someone on mobile or like just RuneScape itself, like the vanilla client, there's a JMod that maxed on it. Like
yeah,
like there's obviously very serious players that use just default clients, but the average person is probably just like a, man, I miss this game. Load it up. You don't want to like overwhelm people. You don't want it to be like RuneScape 3 where you 50 UIs open up and you're like, yeah, I'm done playing. This is gross.
Well, anyways, we're probably going to be seeing more of the, if you're going to the wiki, you might not be going to a new wiki now, which might be a good thing in the end. So that was a post made by Spine Wielder, one of the biggest contributors on the wiki. Pretty familiar name. Anyways, moving on. I guess we could brush on that survey for that contest. Maybe it would have been better to talk about it back then, but most of the information is asking you things about what you enjoy in RuneScape and old school RuneScape, rate like what your favorite things are to do, and it's things like playing with friends, playing against other people, playing on AFKing, playing on your own, building the best account. Anyways, there's a ton of questions about your playstyle with old school RuneScape, and for you to
bot.
Yeah, asking, do you want a autoplay feature? No. But asking the way you play the game. It's asking what other video games you play, what other time, how often do you do other things on the internet, and what do you do on the internet? Like, what websites do you visit? There's a question that asks, would you be interested in playing another game set in the RuneScape universe? Remember that?
Would you?
Honestly, I'd be slightly interested. The problem is, I'm not saying let's put more devs from old school RuneScape working on that. Let's not get a new MMO. But if they came out with like a Skyrim game that was like set in like an offline RPG game set in the RuneScape universe.
You're Horvik.
Who's Horvik?
He's the smithy guy in Varrock. People are just selling you steel plate bodies and teleporting away.
I'd play like if it came to console, an RPG game. I'd definitely buy it, if nothing more than to just be able to talk about it on an episode.
FPS, RuneScape FPS.
Throwing axes.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting question, but a question that I thought was kind of interesting. It was asking something like, what do you want to improve on old school RuneScape? And you could pick 3. One of them was better graphics.
Ooh.
One was smoother animations. One is basically, I don't know how to explain it. It was like support to use different. The example they gave was support so you could use a gamepad on the game. Another one.
When you like gamepad, you mean controller?
I think it meant controller.
Okay.
Another one was fixing/changing the tick system and smoother movements.
Well, I don't like any of that. Get that junk out of here. You know what I want? I want 2-step authenticator. You know what I hate? I hate having like wearing like my ancestral, but then having to bank it because I'm scared I'm gonna get hacked. Like I bank everything. Like the fact that I've been doing blood runes, I want to see how many I collect at 91, and I have like 4 mil blood runes, and I'm like sweating when I go to bed, like I'm gonna wake up and my grade tools dropped. I have 600 marks in the bank, that's okay. But then like 4 mil blood runes, I got my dragon. Oh my god, I'm gonna get. It's just like a constant. I can't imagine people with T-bows and shit, like 4 bill banks, or you're like waiting to get hacked. Like it's a scary feel like that. Like when like
I don't lose sleep over getting.
I don't literally lose sleep, but like I take off every valuable piece of gear and I like bank it and get off.
Yeah.
I want to have like actual account security. You know what I mean? I don't. Animation smoothing, it's nice on RuneLite, but after a while, it does kind of give me a headache. Improved graphics, I hated RSHD. I hated it. Like, that was summoning.
I liked it.
That was summoning. I like quit. I was like, this isn't my game anymore. I don't like change. Tick system, that would be like, I wouldn't like it, but that would be really interesting to see what the alternative would be. Like, if they could just like, here's a demo version. This took Modjed 30 seconds, your account's gonna be compromised, but this is what like mining would be like now. You know what I mean? Combat. Like if they change the tick system, would that mean you now can walk around WASD?
That sounds kind of cool. I'd be open to that as long as everything worked fine. It wasn't no EOC. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for an EOC, but
EOC's on a tick system. Like RS3's still in the same tick system.
No, I know, but I mean like that big of a game changer.
It would be bigger.
Well,
like how would combat work?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing what it would do to it. I'm not just outright saying no. Don't even.
I'm outright saying no, but I would like. It'd be really cool. Like, honestly, they could throw like some cool idea and be like, "This is how it goes." I think the main thing would be like I love and hate the tick system.
Yeah,
it's nice because it does make shit a little more AFK. It's nice because you can like when you're switching gear in PvP, like you can tell if someone's faster with like their mouse and whatnot. You can tell who's got the more ergonomic setup pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
And like when you're running the head, and it's nice to like try and figure out like, because sometimes the game feels really unresponsive, sometimes it feels instantaneous, and it's kind of just like when you're interacting within that like that tick window that you have. So like it's kind of cool, but I don't know. I feel like it's weird that they're looking at changing the base game. It worries me.
I think they're just getting ideas because this was a huge survey. Like, there's a lot of questions. I thought, maybe it's been like 5 minutes going through them, but it's like more like it's been 10, 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
You really want that the poster? You really want that $50 gift card? So they're really getting ideas. They ask you question. They ask a question: what game would you RuneScapeify? Right? Yeah, you don't
really...
What
does that mean?
You don't really know. But it's like, what game? I don't know.
Every game?
I put City Skyline. Don't know what that even would be like.
Is that just like...
You gotta build houses.
2 on repeat?
You gotta build houses to level up your house building skills. So you can build shops and roads. I don't know. Anyways.
You mean construction?
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to lore. This episode for lore, we will be covering the last of the 4 God Wars bosses, Commander Zilyana. She is an Icene, an ancient race of winged beings who were chosen by Saradomin to guard his hilt. Zilyana is the leader of Saradomin's army and fought during the God Wars. The only battle we know prior to the Godsword conflict is the Battle of Anakarl. Anakarl was a Zeros fortress, which was eventually captured by Saradomin armies. A battle took place when Krill Tsutsaroth brought an army to capture the fortress from the Saradomin forces. Zilyana was eventually overpowered by Krill Tsutsaroth, becoming wounded, where she was able to escape and heal. The fortress fell after the battle had caused large damage to the structure. The ruins where the fortress once sat is in the wilderness today, where the greater demons are, in free-to-play. Last week, we talked about Kriera and the Avianci armies who had taken the Godsword. Zilyana was dispatched to help them. Eventually, they became pinned down by Zamorakian forces. The Aviancis had retreated into the caverns, and General Grodor, for the Bandos armies, was sent for assistance. Eventually, General Grodor tried to take the Godsword himself, leaving Zilyana and Kriera to fight against Grardor and Krildsutzerath. During one of the battles over the Godsword, Zilyana was forced to retreat. When she had woken in the morning, she found 3 amulets bearing the symbols of Armadyl, Bandos, and Zamrock, which she had then immediately destroyed. But the next day, the amulets reappeared on an altar. This made her believe that Saradomin was sending this to her. After discovering that Kriera had plans to turn on Zilyana and attack her encampment, she had then realized the message those 3 amulets meant. In preparations for the ambush from Kriera, she was able to fight back their forces and claiming one of the most powerful Armadyl weapons, the Armadyl crossbow. And after that, the 4 gods were all battling against each other to claim the Godswords from themselves. And that is all the information we have on Commander Zilyana. Next week, we'll either continue with the bosses, or maybe we'll dive into the actual Godsword itself. Okay, and now that we're back from that, a quick walk to the Grand Exchange, it sounds like. Everyone's favorite segment.
Yeah, we don't have our Varrock medium diaries done, so it's gonna be a little bit of a waltz. We're not gonna be there quite instantly.
Anyways, the chance to tell us about our sponsor this episode is Audible Trial. You can get a free month with a free audiobook at audibletrial.com/wild. They have a plethora of different audiobooks you can listen to with tons of different genres.
More than 10?
More than 10.
We should probably say more than 2, because we're like still in the same books, but...
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to mine or even read it. Anyways, if you're interested in getting Audible, consider checking out audibletrial.com/wild. And our other sponsor of this episode is all of our Patreon supporters. So our Patreon supporter of the week is Alex Livingstone. So thank you very much for pledging to us and directly helping us support the show. I can't thank you guys enough. We really appreciate and are grateful for all the support. You guys are going to get so tired of hearing that.
Maybe. Wow, he really can't thank us enough.
We got thousands of episodes to do this. You're in it for the long haul. Even if someone stops listening to the show, we're going to start sending tape recorders.
Yeah.
Tape cassettes.
We'll be like old school Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix back in the day, you would mail them a list of movies.
And the only difference is you can't unsubscribe ever.
Yeah. Catfax 2.0.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And even when we die of old age, our next line of kids will be doing the same thing.
You'll have like grandkids being like, what the fuck is RuneScape?
He listened to a podcast one time by accident. He was looking for that political show.
That's happened too many times.
Again, so thank you, Alex Livingstone, to pledging to us. And thank you to every single person who is supporting us. But also thank you to every single one just listening. All the support and kind words.
Except for the ones thinking this is a political show, because I can't...
Your tweets, they're clogging up my feed.
We got a message on Facebook? Oh, political stuff.
Why are they talking about racist? Oh. There's not been any entertaining ones that I'd felt the need to talk about.
Not yet.
Most of them are just either getting mad. I do not believe the Democrats are doing the right thing. You made the choice to... You're all just a bunch of bigots. I'm just like...
Sounds Rule 34, Neve, and we're on our way.
Yeah. We're good to go.
Yeah.
What's next? Oh, that's right. All the fun stuff that we got going on in the show. So I guess first things first, we have... Last week I kind of mentioned about Bhooley the Blacksmith coming back with a new event being made. Well, this week I had a chance to talk with him, and I like to think of it as a way for me to... It was a trial run of those interview episodes that I'd like to do, because I was very worried I'd start lagging out, and I wasn't sure how that was going to go. And also, there's some weird technical issues when you're having to record someone who's on the computer, and you don't want them to fall on the same track just in case one of you starts lagging, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it gets a little bit complicated, so I use this as a trial run as well as a way for him to talk about his giveaway. But it all went pretty well. So here's that little, I don't want to call it an interview, but quick little conversation. Hey guys, joined with me right now is Bhooley, who is no stranger to the show. If you're a new listener, he is our in-house blacksmith, basically. He's done a number of giveaways in the past where he made some really cool items. You make them out of metal, right?
Yeah, pure steel, dude. They are made of pure steel.
Pure steel, nice. So he's having a giveaway coming up soon, and would you say this one's your favorite item you've made yet?
Yeah, for sure. I would have to say this is one of my favorites. It's a real life-size Dragon Longsword. It is heavy and it is made of pure steel, and I added a leather handle to it, and also I'm going to be putting it on a plaque that you can mount on your wall, and then you're able to take it off whenever you want or put it back on the mount as well. And if someone's robbing your house, you can just take it out, spec them out, and put it right back on that plaque.
Yeah, that is awesome. I saw a picture of it, and that thing looks amazing. What are some of the other things you've made in the past?
I made, let's see here. The first event I made was the Dragon Dagger on the plaque. The Dragon Dagger keychain. Deegan won that one. Lazy Cook won the dagger on the plaque. The second one, I believe, was the Dragon Battle Axe. I made a Dragon Warhammer. I made 3 party hats. Also, I made the Dwarf Cannon. Dwarf Cannon, I think, was the biggest giveaway yet. A lot of people wanted that one. It was a miniature Dwarf Cannon. It had a gold stack on it, a dragon pickaxe, and it had all the gears and everything on it. But I think the Dragon Longsword's probably one of my favorite ones I've created so far for the clan.
Yeah, they all look really good. Like, I've posted the picture. They're on in the events channel on the Discord, but I think I threw them on Twitter as well. But they all look really good, so I'll have to throw them back up there if anyone hasn't seen them yet.
Yeah, if anyone ever wants to see them, just DM me or Dills, and we'll throw them back on there. Also, once I stop being so busy at work, I would like to still do the 3 skill one. Everyone just tells me their 3 favorite skills. I'm going to do 3 mini plaques as well, but it's just been so busy, but I was been working on that D-Long for a little bit. It's kind of a surprise. I usually let people know what I'm doing, but this one was a little side project I wanted to throw out there for the clan. Everyone appreciates it, and it's a fun thing when everyone gets together and I get to, throw out my blacksmith Bhooley skills.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't
see anyone else making these live items, so I was just like, fuck it,
That's almost the craziest thing about it. You see giveaways with money and in-game items, but you don't really see them too often with the actual item in-game, but in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great hobby. I enjoy doing it, and the winner of it, I will mail it to your house. You just got to be comfortable with me, giving me your address. I won't mail you dog shit, I promise. I've mailed multiple people items in the clan, and once you send it, I delete the DM, and you're safe. But the only thing I ask is if you enter to win one of my items, that you will cherish it and you will not put it on your shelf and throw it away the next week. If you know you're going to cherish it, please enter to win. I put a lot of work into them, and I want to make sure if you get it, you enjoy it.
Yeah, and if you see this Dragon Longsword, I'm sure you wouldn't not be able to cherish it.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell them when we're going to be doing this, Dills.
So you've told me that you're planning on doing it at the end of October. Is that right?
Yeah. I want to go towards the end of October to the middle, probably October 13th or 20th, Saturday. It just gives everyone a few weeks of ahead of time, everyone can plan. I'll keep posting in the Discord and letting everyone know when the time comes. And also I'm willing to throw a Halloween event towards it. I want to do a snowball fight. If no one knows what that is, it's pretty much everyone shows up in raggedy mage gear with about 1,000 wind strikes, and everyone just goes crazy with them. And also, I will most likely be doing a raffle to give it away, because not everyone can make it to the events because, Saturday, family, friends, activities. That typically seems to work well with my giveaways as a raffle. This one, I'm not for sure how you're going to have to enter it yet, but I will also be giving it away of the day of the event. I just got to figure out how I want people to enter.
Yeah, so if it's like a raffle, you'd probably just do the draw after the snowball fight, or maybe before the snowball fight, whatever.
Yeah. I'll just probably put everyone's name in a raffle, I might do a ticket game again, like I did on the Dwarf Cannon. Everyone contributes, 100K a ticket, 4 tickets, just to help contribute towards the cost that I put into these items.
Oh, yeah, I'd say that's well worth it, too. 400K for it.
Yeah, I buy all the materials. I buy the wood, the metal, the paint, everything that goes along with these projects out of my own pocket. And then when people contribute to me with the in-game gold, I turn around and turn it into drop parties for the CC. I don't keep it. I just give it back away to the community. It's kind of just like a recycle thing for the clan. I want to make sure everyone has fun and everyone pitches in to the community at the same time. I'll let everyone know about how I'm going to do the raffle. I still got a few weeks ahead of planning, but when the time comes with like a week or two before, I will definitely let everyone know how they can enter into the raffle.
Yeah, normally it's posted on the events channel in the Discord. I'll throw it on Twitter and Facebook usually as well. Or you can just bug Bhooley in game.
Yep, I'm always on. Hit me up on Discord whenever. I always keep it posted in events and everything. But hit me up if you guys want me to specially make you something. I don't mind doing that. I've already had a few requests from people in the clan that want me to make them items. It's just got to give me some time to get around to it. And I would definitely love to make you something, Just don't try to make it like a life-size god sword, because that would be a little hard. I'm not that 99 blacksmithing yet, but I could probably attempt it,
Yeah, and probably shipping costs, right?
Oh, yeah. The heavier it is, the more it costs. So
that's always fun.
But I don't mind spending a little money contributing to all you guys that hang out in the CC. It's a great CC. It's a great place to hang out with people. Good times.
Well, yeah, it's really cool that you're doing these events. They're really awesome events, super unique way of doing these kind of giveaways. And we appreciate it because it's cool to see, these events being thrown and you're doing it all yourself. Like, we're not really doing anything except for I'm recording this right now, which isn't that hard to do.
Yeah, no biggie, man. I appreciate you letting me come on here and talk about my stuff that I make for the clan. It's a great time. I enjoy doing it. It's more than a hobby than anything, I'm just glad to see people actually enjoying what I make and people like it. It feels good that people enjoy what I make and they actually take pride in what I have. It's good to see what they do with the items when I send it to them. They send me, selfies with the party hats on their heads or, their Dwarf Cannon next to all their other gaming stuff. I typically try to make, little things that you could put on your gaming station, just to fit in with your little gaming decor. So as long as you guys will take pride in it when I make it and send it to you, you're more than welcome to enter for it.
That's awesome. And normally I stay out of these events, but I'm going to have to get into this one. That thing is just too cool to resist.
Please, man. Yeah, dude, you can, spec out Deegan if he's messing up on the recording, just give him a little one too.
That's exactly it. I'll just record with it in my hand the whole time.
Yeah, he'll definitely put those max stats now, man, for sure.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. And again, thank you for throwing these events. They're so fucking cool. I don't know. I can't stress that enough. If someone out there is, maybe unfamiliar with these type of events, they're very cool, and I highly recommend trying to get in on it.
Yeah, please do. It'll be a fun time, more the merrier. Let's try to get at least 20-30 people to the snowball fight. The winner of the snowball fight, I will be giving a bond to as well. Forgot to mention that.
Oh.
Yeah, so
it's too much.
I'll be giving a lot away. Yeah, dude, no, I I work a lot. Might as well have a little bit of fun with it. I'm a big giver, so it's gonna be fun. Everyone just we'll give more details about the snowball fight. It's everyone shows up with wind strike, basic blue mage gear, and everyone just blasts each other with it.
Yeah, that does sound fun. It is something that I've wanted to do for a while now.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Dills. Appreciate it. Let me come on here. Escape on, guys.
Oh, no problem. Take care, everyone. All right, so yeah, just to quickly, I guess, re-go through it. He is having his giveaway. He told me the date is planned for October 20th. More information on how you can actually be involved with winning that Dragon Longsword.
Yo, I'm going to win. I'm going to bring that shit to Hema.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Break some arms, get kicked out instantly.
Anti-dragon fire shield that spits fire out. But yeah, that event as well as a snowball fight, which we've mentioned in the past, but we never had a chance to actually schedule one. So we will all be getting together to blast some big 2 damage on each other. But really just for fun. We might be able to find a way to make it a little bit more spicy. Maybe everyone has to bring 1k gold on them. And the last person standing gets 15k.
Damn.
Maybe more, whoever else is involved.
I mean, that one fucker that brings like a brew and a restore.
Yeah, well, it's just supposed to be for fun, so hopefully nobody brings any
He's
food.
an ancestral. Get him.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Hit those 2, all turn on him. But then whoever gets the kill, they all turn on you. Last one alive gets 100 mil.
Yeah,
Whoops.
find out somebody snuck an AGS in. It all goes down.
Who hit 72? I swear it wasn't me. But yeah, we mentioned at the beginning of the show that we have this idea for a tournament that we would like to try and do. So just to kind of prep the waters, the date might actually fall in November at some point, but we're going to start putting it together. We're going to be doing a tournament that involves the games room in Birthrope. We're thinking a big tournament of Connect 4 with actual prizes for the winner. And because our Patreons worked out so well, I want to be able to throw maybe some bonds in for like the winner. Maybe the runners up can get some cash prizes as well. I was talking to a user in our Discord and clan chat, Chick, and he also wants to get in with providing some rewards for it. It was actually his idea to kind of go out and maybe have a fun games room night. We got talking and we think it would be kind of cool to have a kind of big tournament.
Yeah.
Of Connect 4, best 2 of 3.
And I guess the biggest thing is, I think you suggested that, once everything's set in motion and we have like the tournament rolling, you'll set up a stream or something, stream it.
Might try to stream it, yeah, just to kind of, people can watch it. Maybe they can't actually be there, but also maybe a way for people to see just exactly what kind of fun they're missing out on by being part of the wild boys and gals.
Wow, these guys are racist. We're not. I'm just making a joke.
Joke at the absurdity. But yeah, it could. I think it would be really fun. So the way we're going to be having is you will have to sign up somehow. So if you're interested, you would have to provide your name.
You know what we should do? We should make them provide evidence of annoying the fucking political podcast people, like tweeting them RuneScape related. Actually, though, I'm so sick of these goddamn political questions showing up.
They're never questions. I mean, they're usually positive.
Like statements.
They're usually like, great episode last week talking about how the White House is corrupt. I'm like, wow, no, this has never happened this was the UK that the J-mod catastrophe happened.
Yeah.
Jeez, get it together. But yeah, you're going to have to sign up, maybe through Discord, but you're going to have to send us your username, which will then put you into a randomized bracket where you'll be matched up with another person where you're going to have a 1v1 against. So I don't know how many people are going to be interested in this. There'll be more information, obviously, as we go. We'll eventually open it up. Right now, you can't sign up for it. But when you are able to, we can see how many people are interested. And I don't know if it'd have to bleed into 2 nights of this. But you're able to spectate Connect 4 games, which would allow, whether it's me or Deegan, or maybe Chick if he wants to referee as well, we could have like 3 games going at once where we could spectate just so that, we don't have to go.
Playing. Me and all my peers are playing. I'm gonna have the easiest bracket run of my life.
He's facing himself, yeah. No, but this way you don't have to take. It's not like the honor system, right? 2 people just play and you're like, you guys finished? Yeah, I won. No, I won.
The open system where you gotta fucking take 30 screenshots and have video evidence, record the demos, and then someone is like, yeah, they faked it all, and then you have to like go through an ad. Straight up, I was doing it back when I was super into CS. We were doing like a CEVO open, and one of our players dropped out. He disconnected, and like the password that was provided didn't work. But we looked in the rules, and we were still allowed to play as 4 people, and we won. And then the other people were like, "Well, the 5th player didn't have enough screenshots or the full demo," and it was like a 2-week ordeal, them trying to get us disqualified.
Yeah, that seems a bit...
So that's not going to happen, don't worry.
No, we'll have one of us spectating so that we can see who the winner is. People will move on to the next brackets, and
Deegan wasn't watching.
Yeah, he went to the washroom. Yeah. Forgot he was playing.
He actually is just rune crafting.
Yeah. Where is he? He keeps just randomly saying who won. They haven't even showed up. I think it would be a lot of fun, and it's something different, right? Iron Man can partake in it. They don't have to worry about...
Ugh, never mind. Canceled.
But Iron Man won't have to worry about not being able to participate in this event. They can still do the Connect 4, and, a bond is a reward that they can win.
Yep.
They just can only use the in-game time. Yeah, it's all skill levels. Level 3 can come do it. You don't have
the
to
only thing you should get is a games necklace to teleport there.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're hurting, let us know. We'll hook you with the games. It'll be one charge. You'll get actually no, because I want to elk that. So
2
maybe
charges, but you got to give it back when you're done.
Yeah.
We'll loan you a teleport. But yeah, more information as we go on with that one too. And that's basically it for, I guess, our little fun stuff. Our survey that I was doing, a way for you to review the show, maybe in the past year or so, or ways we can improve going forward to the next year. I'm closing that one up. So thank you to everyone who responded. We got some pretty good feedback and criticisms as well. Constructive criticism. It wasn't just, you suck, boo.
Well, there was a little bit too much of that.
A little extreme. Too many caps locks.
Yeah.
But a lot of good feedback that we can use to, at least that we're more aware of. So going forward, we can cut back on it a bit.
Or ramp it up, depending on what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Move to RuneScape 3, because that everyone's actually saying just do RuneScape 3 related content.
Yeah, they're just waiting for us to convert over. But yeah, don't feel like you can't give us feedback anytime. If there's something you didn't like about the show, you can always just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
It does help us improve and let us know which and what ways we do need to improve.
Yeah, and if we're wrong, correct us. I'll always say I'm right, but
it's good. Get the arguments going.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you to everyone who took the time out to write in, and thanks to everyone who has given us feedback and offered to help us with other things. Anyways, if you want to get in touch with us or hang out with us in game, there's a bunch of different ways to do that. Well, there's only one way to do that in game, and that's by joining the clan chat WildCC. But hey, if you're already in a clan chat, you can still join our Discord. But that is posted on Facebook and Twitter. But you can always message us to get the link, and we will get you in there. Our Facebook is facebook.com/thewildernesspodcast. We have a Facebook group, but that is now linked onto the page. So if you're on the page already, you can easily join the Facebook group. Makes it a little bit easier to discuss things and share photos and whatnot. Some people prefer it. So it's there if you want to hang out. Our Twitter is @thewildernessrs. Email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. And that's it. If you guys... So I mentioned I plan on streaming that Connect 4 tournament. No plans for regular streaming now, but if you want to kind of prep the waters for if I ever do stream, you can check out my Twitch, which is the Dills with a Z, one L.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to go with that. Anyways, Deegan, you got your stuff, right?
Twitch, Twitter, DeeganRS.
Yeah, there it is.
Twitch, Twitter, DeeganRS. Yeah, buddy.
Alrighty, so that is about it, which means our song of the week time. I'm going to randomly select Victory is Mine. This music track is unlocked in a Champions Challenge fight at the Champions Guild when you get that challenge scroll, that devious challenge scroll. It was composed by Ian Taylor. And I guess that about does it for episode 104.
Yeah, thanks for listening, I guess. Have a good one.
Hell yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Until next week.
Yeah, have a good one.
Toodaloo.